Right. Right, a rock.
Um, so you want to jump into the thing, or actually, I made an example of like the polishing.
Let's jump into yeah, we can do some polishing and then let's go back to getting the high score going. I think we did, and then finish that up in the packaging. Or what do you think the best way to do it? Should we do the polish at the end?
It's not up to you how it's said. I'm gonna
Oh,
add a high score mechanic, and then we want to add main menu.
yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll do the polish, and then the packaging.
Okay. And
Crap, anyway, it's acting funky. I hope it's not your...
on the screen, and
Nice.
I have last one. You see it on my screen?
Yeah.
Ready?
You guys ready? I think everyone's ready.
So we have what we left.
So you want to see who you're working with. Here's, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, so just recap. So I have one here. Our little promo works. That's what I'm saying too long. Let's turn it down. No. When it bounces off, we're gonna let it go. Our score updates. And then once it gets to 3 on one side, the game ends and tell us what happened, and then we get checked out. So, the next thing we need to do is we need to set up like a main menu so that the game essentially looking and moving back. So I'm going to go into our little call this one folder here and our little maps app on the level. This is going to main menu underscore Alpiano, because that's why I decided to provide any units. Now click on this, say selected. Now we comment on the right board here. If you wanted to have all the thing in the background or whatever, we could in the level, that works too. It's up to you. I don't personally want. The next thing we're going to do is in the little blueprint section here, I'm going to go ahead and make a main menu folder. So I'm going to make a menu folder. I'm going to make a new game mode. It's going to be my name. No. And then I need a new player control. I don't need a new pawn because the default pawn is essentially a spectator, so it works just fine for us. So I just need the player control. Let's do my main menu. And then there we go. So my main menu game mode. I'm going to tell it, hey, this is my player controller class that it's named. Estelle room. And then I don't need this anymore.
Alright, for now you got on the phone game. Playing pickleball.
So, let me go ahead and explain here. While I remember that this is spelled. So now in my player controller class, I want to remember this stuff, so I don't care about it. Just I'm going to create widget, add the viewport, and then I'm not going to bother getting my saving reference because I don't actually care this time. And then up at the very top, I'm going to click on class defaults, and over here in the details panel, you'll see there's a mouse interface section. This is where you can set, like, should I see the cursor? Should it click on stuff and it counts? Which keys am I going to use to click on stuff with? So you can set that over here by default. You can also change the cursor. So if you have a custom mouse cursor in mind, you can add one and then stick it here. Otherwise, you can use a default. So if I want crosshair or whatever, I can pick that. So now we have all this stuff set. I'm going to. Also, if you want to set this up for touchpads, you have to turn on enable touch events. And then these are like the hover stuff. We're not doing hovering right now. So this is going to cry because we don't have a widget. So we're going to go ahead and make one. So we'll come down here, we're going to click user interface and widget blueprints. And this is going to be a user widget class. So let's click on one thing at the top there. And this is going to be my main menu, you guessed it, underscore WP. And then I'm going to go ahead and just say this is going to be the one I want. Save, yeah. So now, back into my widget. I'm going to grab my canvas panel, go into the base panel, or base container, for everything that I'm going to throw on here. And then I want some buttons, and I want some text, and then I actually want some text on the buttons, so we're going to just attach that. And you'll see over here it kind of snap a little bit, and over here in the hierarchy, it's actually under, like, they're attached. So if I close the button, drop down, the text goes away. So they're parented. I'm going to go ahead and resize the button, so it's correct. And then I'm actually going to make the button part of this disappear, because I don't really want it. I just kind of want the text. So over here in the details panel, under color and opacity, I'm going to just grab this and, nope, never mind. One, not color and opacity, background color. 0, and now the button is still there, I can still click on it, but I can't see it. So whenever I click on the text, because the button is around the text, it will same thing here, background color 0, and then save, and then I'm going to rename these buttons. So button 0 here is going to be play, and I'm going to say this is a variable because I want this button to be able to do stuff. And then this button is going to be quit, and this is also a variable. The button itself is going to say, so this is going to be play text, and this is going to actually say play. This one is going to say quit. And we're reading this one also. Alright, so now we have plug and quit, and very soon feels smaller or more. Alright. So, then we have that. This is going to just say pawn, and we'll also make this a bit bigger. These are 64, so we'll make this like 86. So that's totally right. And then we're going to replant our anchors so this doesn't move funny. Right now, if I move this around, it'll move kind of weird. So we want to move the anchors to the center here. And then that was more or less stay in the middle where our things flat. Okay. Alright, let's save, and we're going to pop over, so we're going to put an actual button here to the bottom. I'm going to be on and click events, and that's going to make this one. Same thing for the quick one. Click, boom. Give it one second, I gotta get something. How many shows like the game of footprints? So slide that here. So they take the game mode. Oh, so in the game mode, all you do is pop in here, and this is the details panel. I hit this little button that will track back over the side. This is where you assign the main menu controller, so that when I turn this on, we're going to use that controller that I just made. And then that controller is what's going to put the widget on the screen and let me click on it and stuff. So then the widget is the one that actually has the buttons. Does that make sense?
Yep. Making sense? There.
The player controller class. So we made the main menu player controller and the main menu game mode. So we put the main menu, we told the main menu game mode, hey, use the main menu controller to be free. So back to menu. So once we have our text and we have our buttons, we click on the buttons, and at the bottom here we have all of our built-in functions we can override. So we're overriding on place motion for both these buttons. So once we do that, by clicking this thing here, so on play and on quit, you'll see that there is a menu. It will make me these events that will fire when that happens. So when play is clicked, we'll go do this. When quit is clicked, we're going to do this. So quit, we're just going to quit game. Simple enough. Okay, we're going to open level. Then use two things. You do it by name, where I have to literally just type in the name of the level. So in this case, it would be Paul_LDM.
So it's an open new level. That's just loading up a brand new level very easy.
Yeah. Now, this is like, I don't want to like this one that much because if I misspell this at all, this is, like a lowercase p at the front or there's an extra space that I just had, it won't work. It won't tell you why, it just won't.
Yeah, it's annoying.
The other way is by object reference. So, per level. And then you'll click this thing here and it will show you all the levels you have. So if I climb up to that. So now when I hop into here, if I hit play, nothing happens, but then it tells us to use on game mode. So world settings, my main game mode is the one I want this level to use. So when I hit play now, this pops up. If I hit play, it pops me in the game and we're playing. And if I hit play and when I hit quit, it just goes where it stops. So this works. Anybody have any questions about any of this?
John, you have one?
Yeah, sure. Over here on the right, we have our buttons as variables. So out here, if I click on button, this little checkbox here is variable, is what makes that happen. And then I can override the on quick event to do a thing. For the play, I'm going to open the level. For quit, I'm going to quit the game. So here I just have text bar, zero on the left, and I said, it's going to be poem as the content. This one is not a variable, and I didn't bother even renaming it. I'm going to do it now. L text. And then the actual content is poem, and then here's all my, size 64, this font, that kind of space and whatever. So if I want, I can just space this out, so it's font close. And then the anchors are set to the middle. Is the other thing. So we have the button, and then the text is attached to the button. You can do that here by dragging it on the button, or you can do it here like you would any other hierarchy. Yes. So the play button is marked as is variable, and the quit button is marked as is variable. That's a button. Quit button is marked as is variable. Okay. So, anybody else have any other questions about making them any menu?
Anybody? Looks like we got it.
Okay. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually take back to this when we lose. So, let's say Wildwood, save that. And then over here in the blueprint section of our actual Pong game, we're going to go to game mode. And go to that graph. And so right here at the end is where we're putting game. Instead of doing that, we're going to the level by object reference, and we're going to pick the main menu. So now whenever somebody loses, we'll go back to the main menu, and they'll be able to click from there. Any questions about how that works?
That's cool.
So now that we have our whole little game loop, basically I'm going to kick back to the here, hit play, and just test it once. So if I hit play, game pops up. He's probably going to beat me, so I'm going to let him win. He's moving too fast and low, and then I'm a loser, and back to the main menu, so I hit play again, and game starts over, and everything works just fine. And then once I lose the game, we can go back to splits. I think so much ball. Oh yeah. Would be on the second third curl. Lost again. And then fix it back down here, then I quit, and the game is over. Perfect. So now that we know for sure this works, the last step to like make this complete is we need to actually set up the packaging of the game. So we're going to edit, and go to project settings, and we're going to go to maps and modes. Alright. So I'm leaving this alone because I only have 2 levels and they both override the thing, so I'm actually okay with that sense. If I had, again, something with like 15 levels and I really only, I had the same game mode for all of them, and I just wanted to like override once, I would set this to something specific. But I don't actually care here. In the editor startup, this whatever, this is the actual one. Once we package and make it executable, what starts up first. So this one we're going to do the main menu level as our startup. There's one that's option going to play this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go with match to package. Here we go. List of maps to include in a package build. Anything you don't add in here will not be included in your package. So just because it's in the project does not mean it's getting included. So I'm going to hit add twice here. And this is mildly annoying, but you have to type out the names here. Again, it has to be perfect. So there's spaces, capital M-I-N-N, capital M, E-N-U, underscore, capital L, no spaces. And colon, capital P, D, underscore, capital L. Again, no spaces. So now that this is set, I can close that. And if I go to the platforms, I can now pick my platform. So Android, iOS, whatever. And come here and click package project. I can pick which type of packaging. Right now it's going to be development because that's the project setting that's picked right now. Debug and development, you will still get first frames and stuff. Choose is like, we're done. And you will not see any like debug things in this. So pick shipping, and then click package project, it will start packaging and make you executable. So we hit this, and this is going to stick this in my alt-right folder, so I'm fine with that, and let's go ahead and click select folder. And you see down here in the corner, it is actually going to, it's actually going to let me have the outlog, the output log, and watch what happens. Some of them will stuff that messes up. Yellow is not amazing, but it's kind of whatever. Red is usually a problem, but not always. The word unknown is bad. I like unknowns. This should only take a moment. Unless packaging things doesn't need, which is probable. Like volumetric clouds. So, this is another thing, make sure that, like, anytime you're actually doing like a real project, you want to delete anything you're not using. So if you want something in the package or whatever, and like, I never use this thing, unless it's like needed for some other reason, like it's a child, or it's a parent class, or it's a material that your material function is being used in material you're using, but you're not using it and everything. Stuff like that, it's fine. You want to keep that shit, but anything that's just like, I've never used this castle or any of its materials, then just get that out of your room. Does anybody have any questions about the packaging or the project setting stuff I just went over?
Hey, I'm gonna assume if you have a Windows machine, you cannot package for a Mac. Is that true?
No.
What, it is? Oh, you can package for a Mac on a Windows machine?
Yeah, I mean, it's not running, but there's only on the SDK, you can package for it.
That I did not know. Okay. So all you can do is not run it, but you can make it so it will run on a Mac. That I didn't know. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the IDE and the SDK are the ones that actually have all the information about, like, the APIs and stuff like that. So, yeah, as long as you have all the stuff you need, you can package for other, platforms.
I got a question. I know Unreal's discontinued HTML5 support. Unity never was a good job of that, but you could run it on Simmer, on the browser, Simmer and itch on the browser. Do you have any way you can run like a lightweight project on a browser?
No, you're pretty much stuck with like, with the using itch and then actually downloading your own.
Right. Okay.
The internet seems that it's not as large as everything.
Yeah.
100 gigabytes project, especially if you're taking advantage of like the optimization tools, when it's packaged, will be about 25 gigs.
Okay.
So it's significant information. But yeah, if you throw something on itch, it's usually something you can download pretty quickly and then just run it.
This
Chlorine, was implemented. There was a community thing they kept up, but there hasn't been any contributions to that in like a year or two. I'm not just not like that's done this for.
Yeah. Okay. The Palm package was about under a gig, right? I believe it was 600 megs.
Yeah.
So it's a very small package.
And actually, so the Palm thing is, if I set the project is 600 gigs,
Yeah.
which is not nice, when you package it will be less than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, like, that's not, I'm not sitting the engine anymore.
Right.
Your project class. Yeah. So, does anybody else have any questions while this takes forever? Having trouble with the title screen, the screen, and cursor show up. It's just text. Okay, so your cursor will show up, you understand? Okay, so that's actually part of the player controller. So inside your main menu player controller, if you click on the class defaults at the top of the screen here, or if you select this thing over on the left, where it says stuff, these are the exact same thing. But if you pick either of those, right here in the mouse interface section, there is a show cursor and enable quick events checkboxes. We'll turn both of those on. And then now you go, see your cursor and click on stuff. This is also the same section where you can change like which keys actually count as a click and what your cursor actually looks like. So you can switch it to a different mouse cursor if you set one up. So like if you want to be like hand or crosshairs or whatever, you can set that up. It's taking way too long.
Yeah, for a Pong game.
Maybe something in the game on something. So first one doesn't show up on the game mode. The only thing you set up in there was telling the game like, hey, we're going to use this one. So inside the game mode, you want to set the player controller class to be the main menu for the controller. So that's what we did. If it's still not showing up and that's set in there, then in your mode settings, in the main menu level, you need to remember to tell it, hey, use my main menu game mode. So it goes level, game mode, controller. So the level has to use game mode has to use controller has to show the mouse and put it on the screen. Anybody else have any questions about the packaging, main menu layout?
This one good.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to finish real quick. I'll show you where it links are. I got 1,700 more changes to compile. When you go to listings is when you add a theme. Okay? So what we have currently is just basic Paul. I decided I was going to make laser Paul, so this took me about a day, maybe a little less. I thought I would make laser Paul.
Well, laser Pong.
So if we hit play, got a little vision here, and go scoreboard in the corner. Okay. Every time it hits the wall, it's your sound effect, this little visual effect, and then going back and forth, and I gotta actually hit this thing. I stop, score myself. I can get around to replace the other guy, but
So,
and the events. So I didn't set up a main menu level for this yet. But as you guys can see, this is basically still call. I mean, the thing is going back and forth. I gotta make it bounce and not let it get past me. And there's no do. But after this little temple setting and giving you the lightsaber, and this is gonna be, I haven't decided yet. This is kind of like drawing with a force field or some other person. With one lightsaber smacking it back. But essentially you have to decide what it is you want it to be, and then start making it look like that. I did make a couple of things for this, like these here are blueprint class, so that I could stick the light and thing together. So I hit E, and so here there is no code, but I do have the actual little scene set up so that I can make my own prefab. So I have a static mesh, which is the thing. I got the point light, which is actually casting the light, and then I have the particle system, which looks like fire. And then I can drop these all over the scene, and they look the same. I can also add variations in here because I do have a class I can mess with and stuff. Same thing with the walls. So like this back here is a whole bunch of little pieces. I actually set this up so that it, works on the grid, and I can just tell it how many stones I want and how far apart they should be, and how many there should be in a row, and then it builds the stone wall. So this default one is set to 10. If I set it to 20, and then I go, and it'll just do it for me.
You make that?
So that's from, what?
That's cool. Do you make that? Wow, blueprint? Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is the whole blueprint. There's the construction script runs in the editor, so you can see what you're working with, which is why I put it here. It also will only run, when if I place a new level, it will run in the editor and then not at runtime. If I spawn this at runtime, it will run like right before it actually pops a new level.
Can you zoom in on it so I can see the nodes?
Yeah. This will go forward to the number of stones I want. I should have actually done a -1 here, but. And then I'm adding a static mesh component to our instance static mesh. The instance static mesh is basically just a component that lets me assign like a mesh to it. And then we can add as many instances of that mesh as we like, and that's with the LEDs and stuff. I don't know use the transforms. There is a hierarchical instance static mesh, which will actually let you mess with the LEDs. So just because I have some of these closer and some of these further away, I don't have to render with the same resolution. I can back it down a little bit. And so this one here is adding a component, and then setting the mesh on the component, and then basically just building me a wall. And it's picking from my local array here of different meshes that I want to use, which is how I get my nice varied look. But this is randomly doing it, so I don't have a whole lot of control over it, but it does look kind of organic. I'm using it on the sidewall here, and I'm using it for the sidewalls as well.
Nice.
Because I was trying to place 300 of these stones. These are individually placed, but there's only like 40 of them, and I just, placed down a couple of them side by side, duplicated, and, drag and drop, still have what I want. And then the water plane is just a water plane. So this is literally just a flat plane with a material on it. Over here. Here. So here's the material. It looks kind of scary if you don't understand what's going on, but basically, we're using math to decide, number one, what should the surface look like, and then we're also messing with the actually, no, this is just normals. Okay, so we're not even doing world position offset, we're just doing normals. So we're just basically panning a normal map across the top, and it's making it look like there's ripples in the water.
So you didn't get this off a fab, you made it all yourself, this water?
No. So, the water and most of these, meshes I stole off that.
Okay.
This is actually from the isometric world. This, again, this stuff is all free. So you guys can grab this too. Most of them like need this in, so when I package this, or when I zip this up and send this up to the, to Google, you guys will grab this too. But I actually, like, I've made water pipes before, and oceans. Typically, what you do is actually use world position offset, so we'll actually mess with the vertices of the plane. This isn't even doing that. This is literally just doing it with normals. So if we get right up on this, this is like this is a perfectly flat plane.
Yeah.
But it is not real ripples. So the power of illusion. But yeah, and then essentially, just really quickly, when materials work, this is essentially a math equation, and this is the result. So up here, this is all the math that's going to end up being the base color. This is the math that's going to end up being systolic, specular, roughness, and then opacity is like, which parts of this are completely clear, which parts of these you can see a little bit. And the normals, obviously, are like the bends and distortions for the light. And so we do the math for those individual pieces, and then it gets all put together here, and then we have our final image. So this is kind of backwards from how like regular coding works, because regular coding will have events and will fire, and like this will happen, and that will happen, sometimes maybe not. This is a math equation. X equals whatever until I get water. Whatever I'm trying to get. The way these are super nice is that you can set up parameters. So this is a parameter, this is a parameter, this is a parameter, and basically make a material instance off of this. So this is my actual material, and then this is the instance of the material. And I'm pulling the thing over here. There's my little preview window, and I can actually mess with stuff. So I don't have the graph anymore, but I can play with things like how fast is the water going. And if I actually pop this open, you can see a change in the level. So let me do that real quick. Down. So if I mess with this, you can actually watch change in the level. So medium wave speed was 72, and now you can actually watch this crazy here, and I can be like, well, one of it is going to be actually red because I killed somebody, and I don't. But those opposites happen, at one time in the lighting of your scene, and then if I want to, say, oh, this is going to be my red material, my red water, I have this instance, and then I just come back to the material, the base material, and make a new instance, and then I can make blue water and green water and purple water and all that sort of stuff. If you take it to the extreme, you can do procedural landscape materials, where I can have one procedural landscape material, and then I can have one instance for jungles, and one instance for snowy mountaintops, and one instance for deserts. And I never had to make a second material. I just made another instance, played with the parameters, and one of my business. Let me go ahead and close this up. This is trying to finish early.
How's the package coming?
Package should be just about done. And it's still on shares.
shaders. Like, how's the packaging when there's, what's the packaging shaders? There really aren't any in the Pong game.
So, it doesn't include maps, it does include everything else that's actually in projects. So that's of things. So like I deleted a bunch of stuff. I don't usually didn't need, but it's still going to include like all the materials things from this isometric pack that I used anywhere, basically.
We weren't building this advanced Pong, we were building the intro Pong.
Right. Like, I didn't even include this level in the package, but it's still included all these assets.
Okay, so this, okay, this is all one project. I forgot, okay. I thought it was a different project.
So that's the downside is if you're gonna have extra stuff, you know, like, oh, let's go this pack and let's do this one thing, you need to get rid of the rest of the pack. Otherwise, this happens to you.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, we're done with shaders, it looks like. Now we're just packaging. Should be almost done with this. But yeah, so if you have any questions about like anything really, you know, how I got to, you know, like here from regular home or any of the actual like packaging stuff. Any questions?
Yeah, we'll go through the file, the package.
Yeah, this is just about done. As soon as this finishes, we'll pop up. I'll show you where it is and we'll pop up. There we go. This is about 11 minutes. How I got sport update. So sport update was so the sport update was inside of the goal. When we have our overlap happen, we basically cast to the game mode and tell it, hey, you should enter the store. Game mode has a function called increment store. When we do this, we have our update store dispatcher that we made over here. We call this, and we tell it like, hey, this is the new stores. We set these as inputs up here in the upper right. So for our store AI store, we're adding this inputs to this event dispatcher, and then we'll just drag it out and call. So this one and game over are both just sort of screaming out in the level. Yeah. Yeah, so this one and this one are just sort of screaming out in the level, being like, hey, this thing happened. So yeah, when we update the store, it yells update store, and then if and when the game is over, we yell out, hey, game's over. Once we call this out, we don't care anymore as the game mode. It's up to somebody else to be paying attention. The widget is paying attention. So the UI on the screen is listening. And it's like, hey, I want to know what the score is. So when you yell out update score, it hears it and then changes the text. Let me know whenever you're more than I can move over to the widget and show you that part. So, game over, I said input variable, like did the player win? So if it's true, then the player won the game, and if it's false, then the AI won the game. But it's the same as the player score the AI score, I'm just passing this information along with the yeah. Back there. This one? Okay, so this is just turning off progress, so basically right here at the beginning, this is true by default, so every time we go to increment score, we're playing, so sure, go ahead, and then at the end here, we turn this to false, so that if the ball goes in again after we got our limit, then we stop. That little chirpy thing means that we have actually finished, and it was not a failure. If it was a failure, it would do this weird little like, so we are good to go with this. But yeah, so we stop progress, and then we delay 3 seconds, and then we open the web. Alright, so let me go show you guys where this thing lives. And then test this stuff. So, in my Albright project, so inside my Unreal Projects folder, my Albright project lives here, and all my other projects. And then these are the normal ones. Windows is this. So if I take Windows and pop it out here, I can close that, and then this is the project. If I double click on this will pop open, and it should be playing.
Gee, complete game.
Somehow this dude beat me before I popped in. Maybe he got a score before I popped in, if I play again. So the project works. I did not add like a click or like a pause button or anything. So in order to get out of this game, I do have to like lose. And this is where playtesting comes in. Because you might decide that, oh, that's a bummer. I should probably let people have pause menus so that they can stop or leave early. And then I hit quit, it's going to be executable, and then game's done.
How big is the package? The Windows folder?
The whole package is, let me back out once. $450 MB.
Okay, that's good. 450 megs. That's not even it's half a gig. You can put it into itch.
I mean, like, if I was like this, it would be even smaller. So probably, but yeah.
And that's only because you have the extra shaders and things from the lightsaber game.
Yes,
Really?
I think all the extra stuff that was, like, that wasn't needed for this particular project before our package, then yeah.
I bet it'd be under a Mac if it had any other stuff in it, just the palm thing itself.
No, it wouldn't be down quite that low, but it would be like, I think you can get it down to like 64 or something.
Oh, okay.
64 megabytes. But like, if you have just like nothing in it and it's just a flat, like, go wrong, I think you can have it on 64, but yeah. It does include, you know, like, the stuff that needs to run, and then all the content is all packaged up.
Sweet.
But yeah, so, and then, you know, like I said, that's where it lives, and then you can always, you know, stick in places or send friends or whatever you want to do. Does anyone have any questions? Again, my idea is.
This one. Yeah, it's good to go.
Alright, I will see you guys next time.
See you then.